Welcome back, everyone. Dustin and Nico here again. Don't go out there. Instant reaction time. We both went and saw the highly anticipated Smile 2. So before we get started, we want to let you know off rip this is going to be spoiler filled. The movie's been out for a weekend, so I feel like it's fair game. If you haven't seen it, just turn it off, revisit after you've seen the movie. But I'll go ahead and get us kicked off with my general thoughts of the movie. I didn't love the first movie, right? I was kind of like, I thought it was okay. But then we recently reviewed it and I rewatched it. And I was like, you know what? I think I liked it more than I thought. Okay, it grew on me some. But I think the general consensus is that the back half of the movie, the third act, it kind of lost us. That's where the movie kind of falls off the rails. And boy, if you thought the first one fell off the rails, then buckle up for this one. That's how I feel about this one. I thought the first two-thirds of the movie were wonderful. I really enjoyed them, but the third act just kind of lost me. There were some things that we'll get into when we get to our pros and cons that I didn't care for, but overall, I thought it was a fine movie. What do you think, Nico?
Yeah, I pretty much echo everything you said. I mean,
Oh,
I,
good.
I know I know you'll touch on letterbox reviews later, but you gave it a three. You can read yours or whatever. I gave it a 3.5, so we're pretty close.
Yeah,
But like you said, the first 2/3 were really strong, and I was invested all the way to the end until stuff we'll get into when we get into spoilers and cons. Uh, Cody Leach saw on Twitter X he posted something about like the movie cheats at the end. I don't know if it cheats, but it just doesn't make any damn sense to me. And
yeah,
me and you will talk about that. But yeah, the first 2/3 I thought were excellent.
yeah. All right. Well, speaking of excellent, let's go ahead and get to our pros. Pro number one for me. Oh, Naomi Scott.
Whew.
Lord of mercy. So I've been a huge fan of hers since the Aladdin live action movie, which, by the way, unrelated, I think is the best of the live action Disney remakes. I love the Aladdin one, but she plays Jasmine in it. And I've just been in love with her since. And boy, can she pull off a short blonde hairdo. I don't know what it was. Okay, that's we're getting off topic here. I thought her acting was great though. I thought that she really embodied that detached rock star that's gone through some shit, trying to get back in the swing of things, and then just like is petrified and no one believes her. I think that that was good. Also, I like the added element here. So in the first movie, you obviously had a doctor who was dealing with sick, mentally ill patients, and she was sleep deprived. So that's what they like explained her stuff on. This one to me works better because she's dealt with addiction. So it's more believable. Are you using again? And it's like, ah, she's probably just using again. That's what everybody thought. So I think that that was a better aid to the story than just, oh, she's a sleep deprived doctor who's around mentally ill patients. So they're rubbing off on her. Um, the opening scene, just off rip. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. We're dropped in. Kyle Garner's back. And it was incredible. Like,
Yes, it was.
action, drama, tension, incredible. I really loved it. Um, then I think the supporting cast in this movie was great. The mom really seemed like a mom who did care about her daughter, but also was worried about this brand that they've built. Was worried about the cash cow, trying to push her to power through. Um, I thought that there were some really good jump scares in this movie, like some really effective ones, and I think that they did a good job of capturing that tension that I think the first movie did so well. It had some very tense situations, and yeah, I'll let you go for a minute on the pros, and I may touch up on some more if you don't hit them.
Yep. Pros, like you said, I'm gonna start off with the opening scene. Like I thought it was, in my little TikTok video I made, that's the best opening scene to a horror movie I've seen since Evil Dead Rise, probably.
Mm,
Like that opening scene was fantastic. Like you mentioned, Kyle Gallner, he kind of like the opening of Strange Darling was really good too with him. Like he
yeah.
kind of played the same character, kind of like a vigilante type character.
Yeah.
It was really impressive that the guy he was trying to abduct didn't drop those 2 coffee drinks walking through the snow. Like that was the most impressive thing to me, honestly. Uh,
Yeah.
the gore, I thought the gore and the kills were really good too. Like it looked really good. Like it
Yeah.
was pretty fantastic. Uh, Naomi Scott as Sky Riley, like you mentioned. Like I'm not familiar with her game. I was going to joke around like, yeah, the live Aladdin was amazing, but I think good and well I haven't seen that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not familiar with her game. I don't know what anything she's been in, but
You haven't
she
seen The
looked.
Martian? I thought you had seen that.
No, I haven't. Come on,
Oh, okay.
say that out loud. Do you think I've seen The
Well, no,
Martian?
I mean, shit, man. You
Ridley
saw
Scott movies?
Interstellar.
Yeah, I don't even know how I watched that, but yeah, shout out to Interstellar. That was a great
She's in
movie.
Power Rangers.
Brother, I haven't seen the Power Rangers since they fought that purple monster way back when.
That's Ivan
Uh,
Ooze. Put some respect.
I can't remember. See, I don't even remember. Let me get back on track. Naomi Scott was fantastic. I think, like you mentioned, I think all of the acting was good. Rosemary DeWitt as the mom, Elizabeth was great. Lucas Gage as Lewis was great. Morris, he was okay, for what he did. Shout out to Jack Nicholson's kid, Ray Nicholson. He was great. Like in the few scenes that he was on screen, he had a terrifying smile. Like kind
Wait,
of like
that's who is he?
Ray Nicholson, the one that she was arguing with in the car.
I did not realize, and now I can see it. Like when I look at his picture, I can see it. I did
Oh
not
yeah,
realize that's Jack's son. That's
that
awesome.
yeah, I saw it on TikTok. Some TikToks about that. They talked to him about like the smiles. Did you use your dad's smile from The Shining and all that? But yeah, that's Jack Nicholson's son. Uh, his performance was really good. But to me, the most impressive thing about this movie is something I mentioned in the first movie: the camera work, the cinematography. Shout out to Charlie Saroff, I think is how you say his name, and Parker Finn. I don't know who you give the credit to, but the first smile and this one have some of the best camera work you'll ever see. Like it is top notch, high quality H2O when it comes to the camera work. I was blown away by it because it's not even just like there's a lot of upside down shots through like the city skyline, but
Yeah.
like we mentioned in that opening scene where Kyle Gallner is running through the house, dude, that's fantastic. The stuff with Naomi Scott running through her giant apartment, the camera work following her, like
Yeah.
I was blown away by the camera work. There's a lot of positives to this movie, to be honest with you. Great jump scares, like you mentioned. None of them really got me personally, except one, but the one that did get me scared the shit out of me. Whenever she's watching the video that Morris sent her, and it's
Yeah.
Lewis walking through the house, and then like the jump scare of the thing right beside her,
Yeah.
that one about
That
gave
one
me a
got
heart
me as
attack.
well. That one got me as well.
Like that one about gave me a heart attack. That one was real good.
Yeah. I got a couple more. I think well, you mentioned some of the camera shots we got. I agree. The upside down shots of the city, just really all the shots of the city just looked phenomenal, and a lot of the other camera work as well. I really like the choreography. When the people are in her big ass apartment, it fits. Like that's her backup dancers, and they were doing that kind of weird stuff. So when they're climbing on top of each other, and like it fit flawlessly with the story. It made sense, and I really like that. I really like Drew Barrymore being in the movie because
That was good.
it added a layer of believability. Like Drew Barrymore has a show where she talks to people, and it fit. And also, I feel like if you're having a show like that, let's say they would have used Jennifer Hudson. Well, no, she's an actress too. If they would have used, I don't even know who has a daytime talk show anymore, but if they use someone that's not a trained actor, you wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been as believable. I don't think. Like Drew Barrymore is an actress, so she was playing a role, but she was playing herself. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it was great. Um,
Yeah, it's better than like appearing on some giant TikToker's podcast or something. Like who
yeah,
Drew Barrymore, and it's ironic too because think about the opening scene. Like Kyle Gallner, one of the biggest names, killed
yeah,
in the opening. Drew Barrymore, Scream, killed
yeah,
in the.
yeah.
That's a nice little parallel.
I like that. I really like. Oh, it didn't get me like scare me, but it made me jump because like holy shit. Speaking of Kyle Garner, when he got plowed by the car,
Oh yeah,
I was like, what the fuck? And then I really like the blood smear. It was a
the
smile.
smile. Yep.
It was perfect. Um, and then let's see. Yeah, I think that that's all I want to touch on as far as the pros. Do you have any more you want to mention?
Off the top of my head, no. I mean, but I hope that doesn't come across wrong. I mean, it's a lot of
No,
positives,
no,
really. A lot of
it
good,
really
great
is.
acting, great kills, great cinematography. I mean,
Yep.
there's a lot to. I mean, to me, we'll touch on our cons, but to me, this movie has a lot to like about it. Even the runtime felt justified, really.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, the dance, like settings, choreography, all of that felt so real too, and it was very authentic, and I liked all of it. But like the cons, when we get into them, like they weigh this movie down a lot to me.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the cons then. Cons, the opening scene. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love the opening scene, but what I don't like is really unrelated to the movie. Kyle Garner obviously is a carryover character, but like who? I don't know. I wish his story would have tied back in. Maybe the guy that contacted her is like, it killed my brother, blah blah blah. Like maybe he was Kyle Garner's brother, and he had been hearing about this stuff. I don't know. I just wish it would have came back into play, because really, it seemed like a way just to get us Kyle Garner and get us hooked, and then let's abandon that and tell this brand new story. Do one or the other. Tell us a brand new story, or involve him in the rest of the movie, or at least that scene. Uh, Other cons for me, some of the visual effects. Come on, when the eyeballs, you know the scene, the eyeballs, they looked ridiculous. Like when the thing is right in front of her face, and the eyeballs just it looked cartoonish, and it pissed me off. Right along with that, when she's on stage at the concert and herself's there, and then that demon, for lack of a better word, crawls out of her skin, and it was just this monster, huge, bloody looking thing. I thought it looked stupid. It
It,
didn't
I didn't like
didn't
it
hit
in
it.
either movie. I hated it in the first one too.
Yeah, but for some reason I think it looked worse here. Maybe it's because it was in a
Brighter.
well lit auditorium, or coliseum or arena, whatever you want to call it. Um, Another con to me was, I don't remember this. We just did the first one. We just reviewed it, but I don't remember any talks of this thing being a demon. Like, was it?
I can't remember either.
I don't
I
think
mean, we
so.
I mean, we've reviewed so many movies and been
I
to the
know.
movies doing instant reaction since then. It's I can't remember either.
Yeah, I just don't remember that, them saying it's this demon. And there was definitely more religious undertones in this movie than there was in the first. And I don't think it's needed. I'm not opposed to religious undertones and religious storylines when they're consistent with the story you've been told. Just like Terrifier 3, let's introduce it. Oh, it's a demon, after you've already had two movies of this. Um, it was unnecessary. It didn't work for me. And then it really got confusing, which I know that was the point of what was really happening, what was not. Because okay, she kills her mom, and the whole time I'm like, nah, this ain't real. This ain't real. And then she's in the car with her best friend Gemma, and Gemma's calling her. Okay, that obviously wasn't real. That one I'm fine with, because it immediately switched to she's in the driver's seat. She was imagining all this. That's fine. But then you go on this 15-20 minute scene, taking us all across New York and Staten Island and everywhere, and then just all of a sudden none of that was real. She's on stage at her concert. Okay,
No,
what?
I hated that.
What?
I hated the ending.
Now I will be honest. I'm not opposed to the premise of the ending. She killed herself on stage. Does that mean everyone that was at that concert is now afflicted?
I have a big issue with that too because that's a ripoff of a whole nother movie that you probably haven't seen it, but it's a huge ripoff.
What movie?
Truth or Dare from 2018.
Oh, I have not seen that. Okay, so I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with that one, but I'm not opposed to it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's ripped off from other movies. There
Yeah,
is no
but
such thing as an original
when it's
idea.
so blatant though, I mean, it's just
Is it literally like parallel? Like,
it's literally like whenever I tell you, yeah, it's
okay,
very blatant.
so assuming that you're unfamiliar with that, like I was, it actually kind of was cool to me, because I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily want Smile 3, but now the possibilities are endless. You've got 50,000 people that could be afflicted by this thing. So I'm fine with that, but it's just the whole ending.
But the thing is, like everybody's on their phone at these concerts. Like everybody watching the TikTok live, Instagram live, anybody who uploads a video, like the what's the whole world going to be under it
The
now?
whole world. And it's up to Dr. Robert, what's his name, from I Am Legend to find a cure. I don't know. But
That's
it
how
just,
I Am Legend happened.
Yeah, this is a prequel to I Am Legend, but I don't know. I just kind of it lost me in the final third. The first two were so good that I thought it took unnecessary chances in that third act. And I'll
Mm.
shut up for now. You go ahead.
I mean, that's my only qualms really. Like, I don't really have a big issue with the opening. I don't have a big issue with the Kyle Garner thing. Nothing like that. I mean, I
Sure,
like that,
that's fair.
but the end is what really lost me. It's like eventually, like this is just getting too confusing to keep up with. Like I know it's meant to be confusing for what's her name, Naomi
One
Sky
Scott.
Riley. I'm sorry, I got Truth or Dare pulled up as well.
Oh,
But yeah, the like I mentioned in the first Smile review, this movie just feels like it's just ripping off other ideas from other movies and just saying put it in Smile and like hopefully they just go with it. Because to me, in this movie, they made it blatantly obvious it was within a week you had to get this shit figured out. What does that sound like? Oh, The Ring from 2002
mm-hmm.
and Rangu, whenever that came out. Oh, you only got 7 days to figure this out? I don't know. That felt blatantly like a ripoff to me. And at the end of Truth or Dare, which came out 6 years ago, might I add, at the end, Lucy Hale's character is a YouTuber. So she uploads a video of the shit she's going through and she says truth or dare and uploads it. So everyone who watches her video has to deal with the truth or dare demon.
Hmm.
This feels like, hey, I watched Truth or Dare. Let me see if I can just get it past them. And I don't know, it just didn't work for me. Like you mentioned, though, all the did she kill her mom? Then she's in the car with Gemma, and then she's at the freezer with Pizza Hut with Morris, and Morris is gone, and he takes forever to come back, and then she's fighting whatever demon it is in the freezer, and then all of a sudden she's on the concert stage. It just too much is going on, and we don't have any answers. Like
Yeah,
eventually, I just want like if you do a third one, fine, but like wrap this up. Like I don't want to see Smile 17
yeah.
with
No,
like Dr. Phil or something. Like I'm good.
yeah. Dr. Phil's a good one. That's who I should have said earlier when I said I was trying to think of someone with a daytime talk show. I was trying to look through my letterbox to find there was some movie that I watched recently and reviewed on Letterboxd that I said it feels like they watched this movie and tried to retell it from memory. I don't remember what movie that was. Um,
Hmm.
doesn't really matter, but that's what you're saying, and I get that. That's a huge problem. Um, I told you today in the group chat that I've seen Regal sent me a email. I've seen 50 new movies in the theater this year. 51 actually as of today. I saw another one today. I saw four in the last 4 days. I saw one on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and as we're recording today, Tuesday. Of the four movies I watched in these past 4 days, I would put this one third. They're not all horror. I think that We Live in Time was the best, incredible movie, one of the best I've seen in a long time. Second was Goodrich, then this one, and then the one I watched tonight was Rumors. Whew. But the
Review
first
coming
three,
soon.
yeah, I'm picking it. I'm picking it just to make Brian suffer. But I, third out of the four movies I saw this weekend is not bad. Like I was feeling good about all three movies. So the issues I have with this movie, don't take that as I didn't like it because I did. I like you said, I gave it a 3 out of 5 on Letterbox. I'd probably give it around a 6 out of 10 in our review scale. I think it's a fine movie. And I think it's worth watching.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
Like, even though I'm very down on the ending, like I gave the first Smile a 4. Like, I was super let down by that one after seeing it in theaters. This one, I made a TikTok video, just because we try and make as much content as possible, podcast, TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. Dude, if Parker Finn would just get a writing partner and like straighten all this stuff out and stop ripping other movies ideas off, like this would be really, it's like this would be a really good mainstream blockbuster horror because I mean the movie did really good over the weekend. Like it made what over $40 million, I think.
yep.
I mean I don't
And
have the exact number, but I mean it made a lot of money this weekend. So
and
obviously
it,
they were going to keep wanting making them because they're doing good. But you
well, I
gotta
think a lot of
eventually,
that they're sinking a lot of money into the marketing for these two movies. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw, but there was more of the creepy people behind home plate at the baseball game smiling. Not as many as what we saw for the first one, but I did see a ton of trailers for this. So when you, it's kind of like Speak No Evil. When you put that many trailers out there, yeah, people are gonna be like, you know what? Maybe I should see this because they keep brainwashing me into seeing it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that has a lot to do with how well it did, but it's not to say it's not worth seeing.
No, I definitely think this movie is worth a watch. Like, I mean, it does a lot of things like me and you said, fundamentally right. Is it shot well? Hell yeah, brother. Are there good jump scares? Hell yeah, brother. Is the acting great? Yes. Is the opening scene great? Yes. You get to see Drew Barrymore, Kyle Gallner. I mean, you get to see a fantastic performance by Naomi Scott. Like, I would recommend go see that just for her performance. Like, she is incredible. Like,
Yeah.
I can't say that lightly enough. Like, or I can't say it loudly enough. Naomi Scott was very, very good. Like one of the best performances of the year so far.
Yeah.
I would put it up there towards the top.
It's it's definitely, we've talked about, and we're going to figure this out. Is this top five horror movie you've seen this year? It's not my top five.
It might,
Um,
maybe top 10 as of now. Maybe
that's what I'm trying to remember. Maybe top 10. If not, it's
I'd have,
right outside.
I'd have to look at my list.
I would too. So it's if it's not top five, it's right outside. Um, but yeah, do you have any
And
other
be
thoughts? Go
and
ahead.
being outside of top 10 in this year is not a bad thing because to me, and I know you think the same. This has been a very good year of horror movies,
Yeah, yeah. My Regal Unlimited. This is the best year. This is the year that I've been most thankful for Regal Unlimited because I've seen some absolute bangers. So,
and we still got a bunch of good stuff left, like Heretic,
oh
uh,
yeah,
Nosferatu, dude, Nosferatu looks so good. I can't wait to go see that one. Like
yeah,
Robert
and
Eggers, like Chef's Kiss. But anywho, back to Smile 2.
yeah,
I think this movie is definitely worth a watch. I mean, if you got 2.5 hours to burn, go get you some popcorn, get you a drink, and watch Naomi Scott act her ass off.
yeah. I completely agree. Well, do you have any other final thoughts before we get out of here?
Nope, I gave it a 3.5 on Letterbox. I'd probably give it like a 6.5, 7. And to me, if you jump from a 4 to a 7, that's a pretty good jump, like in quality.
Yeah,
Because it
yeah.
didn't have like this movie wasn't anywhere near as tropey as the first one. It wasn't, and while I did hate the ending, I don't know, it felt more polished.
Yeah. I gave the original Smile a 2.5 out of 5 on Letterbox. I gave this one a 3. So not quite the jump that you had, but I do think it's a better movie. So take that
Hmm.
for what it's worth also. So,
Support
all
cinema.
right. Support cinema as always, and be on the lookout for more instant reactions coming soon. I'm going to go see Conclave this upcoming weekend. I don't know if you are planning on it, but I'll go see that.
Uh,
I love Ray Fiennes.
I will probably go see Your Monster this weekend. Well,
Have,
probably next week because I'm on call this week, so I'll probably go see that new Melissa Barrera movie next week.
okay. And then I will be uploading on TikTok in just a little bit. Well, by the time you hear this, it'll already be uploaded. But go check TikTok. I'm putting an instant reaction for what did I see tonight? Rumors, because wow. Anyway,
Wow.
support cinema. We'll see you next time.